Carlo's phone lights up. A number appears where a smaller one used to be. For a moment, nothing happens, just the light of the screen. Then the transfers begin, one to a parent, one to a sibling, one to an account simply labeled bills. A cursor hovers over something small, something meant only for Carlo. It stays there a moment. Then the tab closes, unbought. For someone who becomes the first financially secure person at home, an ordinary payday can turn into something more complicated than good news. To understand why spending on yourself can start to feel like betrayal, we have to see what happened before this number ever arrived. Why does more money sometimes mean less freedom? Before any of this, there is just a life. There is a smaller ritual too. Before checking anything else, Carlo checks the balance. It is a small habit, repeated each payday. If more than one person helped build a future, how much of what comes from it still belongs to just one of them? There is a celebration first. Pride fills the room. What changes when success is no longer private? What used to be private is now something other people know exists.
Sorry?
Nobody assigns this all at once. It happens the way weather changes, one small shift at a time, until the whole climate is different. How far can a role expand before anyone notices it has changed? Eventually, nobody has to ask. The expectation moves inside. For some people, this can look like a number rounded down before a relative hears it, a bonus that goes unmentioned for weeks, a purchase paid for before anyone offers to split it. And sometimes, something harder to admit, a flash of resentment at being expected to give again, followed by guilt for having felt it at all. Why would someone begin hiding the success they worked so hard to reach? Researchers studying first-generation achievement have described a related feeling, a discomfort that can appear in people who gain more access or opportunity than the family they came from. Most of what is known about it comes from studies of US first-generation college students, not from Filipino adults in the workforce. It is not a diagnosis of anyone in this story. It is a related feeling, studied elsewhere, that may help explain what has just been observed. There is a second discovery underneath it. People who move upward can end up between two places at once, ahead of the family they came from, behind the peers they now stand beside, belonging fully to neither. A third, what a family believes someone earns is not always what that person actually keeps, or what one bad month could take away. Relative success and real security are not the same thing, even when they look identical from the outside. A fourth, in a Filipino household, ideas like kapwa, a shared sense of identity with others, and utang na loob, a felt obligation to return goodwill, are part of the relational language through which one person's success can come to feel like it belongs to everyone who helped build it. These ideas describe how obligation can travel through a family. They do not, on their own, explain why any one person feels it. And one honest admission: nobody has proven exactly that this is what is happening inside a story like this one. What research offers here is a hypothesis. The human story is what tests it. If helping can be meaningful, what makes it start to feel heavy? Helping is not always the wound. Sometimes it is the point. Sending money home can be proof that an earlier sacrifice was not wasted, that it is finally being returned. In some families, this closeness grows rather than wears thin. People who feel backed by their families rather than burdened by them often describe their success as lighter to carry, not heavier. So the money is not really the problem. Money was always going to move. The problem may begin somewhere quieter. The moment giving stops feeling like something offered and starts feeling like something already decided. Success becomes heavy, not simply when other people benefit from it, but when keeping any part of it begins to feel like betrayal. Generosity and obligation are not always separate states. They can sit inside the same act at once. What may divide them is smaller than it sounds: whether the person still feels free to decide. Obligation can feel as though the decision was already made before the request arrived. Which raises a different question. What looks different in families where success stays shared without becoming compulsory?
I'm sorry, we cannot provide the large capital injection. However, we can provide a smaller seed loan.
Where verified examples are not yet available, these remain open questions the documentary is still testing. Does the family ask or assume? Can they decide together, ahead of time, what counts as an emergency? Can the subject say no without the relationship changing? What the research and these accounts suggest, carefully, choice may come easier where expectations are spoken instead of assumed, and where saying no does not put belonging itself at risk. Whether that holds true here is part of what this documentary is still finding out. The phone lights up again, the same kind of number. The transfers begin to a parent, a sibling, an account labeled bills. Each one could be read as several things at once: love, gratitude, a small fear of what happens if it stops, real pride. Some of them are probably several of those at once. The cursor hovers again over the same small thing from the beginning. This time, the question is not whether it is affordable. It is whether keeping something for yourself still requires an apology. The cursor stays there a while. The notebook is already open. Pepito writes slowly, the way he always does. Sometimes love and obligation arrive together, in the same gesture, at the same time. The hard part is knowing whether either one still leaves room to choose. He closes the notebook.